So happy to be here. I'm so glad this worked out. I wasn't sure if it was going to. It's 11:30 in the morning here. I'm gonna guess it's about 4:03 there. Yes, fabulous. All right, let's see who all are here. Today I have something very interesting. I just picked these up from a market yesterday. There's down the road something called Spitalfield Market, which has these very interesting crystals and tarot reading and journals, and so you can imagine it was like me, Puja in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland style, and of course I was going crazy picking up journals and colorful pens and so many those spiritual realm items that I'm very fond of, which Puneet's forever like, are you serious, you're going to buy all of this? So yeah, yes. So I thought, why not start today with us doing a little bit of a message from the universe. So I'm just going to pick up a card, and that's going to just become the message for all of you on behalf of everybody, this card, and then you can just see how in your life is that card relevant, okay? Now this has a lot of, it's got cards for relationship, it's got cards for manifestation, it's got cards for wisdom, so it's a mixed set of four, it's a set of 4 sets. If you can see, like all of these are just cards, and each card has a word, and I'm just gonna spiritually see which one is the right one for us. So, why today my chat box is not moving, so I'm not able to read. Come on, move it, baby. And let's go. Ta-da! And it says, ask. So the message for the day for all of you here is ask. Ask the universe for the relationship you desire. Be specific. If you'd like some new friends, say wonderful, loving and supporting friends are coming into my life right now. If there's any other ask that you would like, ask for that. So let me hear in the chat box, is there any ask that you have been delaying in your life that you feel like this message is basically telling you you should go do it? I remember my teacher Jack Canfield used to have a chapter in his book, The Success Principle, called Ask, Ask, Ask. And at one point I had read this, that whenever you ask someone for something, you have nothing to lose. What do you mean? What it means is that, let's say I ask you to go out for dinner with me. Was I already going out for dinner with you? No. If you say yes, we get to go out for dinner. If you say no, I stay where I am. I don't lose anything. Isn't that wonderful? So many of us are so conscious of asking people for things because we feel like, what if they say no? If we can learn to handle rejection, how beautiful life will become, because you know what? There's nothing to lose, it's only to gain. I remember when I wanted to go for a program to America, I went up to my husband and I said, I want to go for this program. I was very scared in asking him because I felt like, what if he says no? But once I read this, I was like, even if he says no, I have nothing to lose. I'm anyway not going. And that really changed my mindset, and I became what Jack used to say, instead of being sorry for pardon my language, become an asshole. And I know that's very, very crude, but you know what? Especially the 2 years where you're working on your journey up the ladder, the more you ask people, remember, success is a team sport. So when you start to ask people, what happens is that when you reach the top of the pyramid, when you reach the successful ladder, when people ask you for things, you're so happy to give it to them, because you know what? You realize that on your way up, people helped you, and now it's your turn to pull people up. And isn't that so much better a way to operate in life, rather than saying that, you know what, I'm not going to ask anybody for anything, I don't want anyone to ask me for anything. That's not how life works. True or not? So I don't know for who this message was today, but I can assure you there is an ask that you've been delaying in your life that I really hope today you get inspired to go, because remember, there's nothing to lose. To all of you there. Now let's move into the questions. I'm going to be starting all my sessions, if I don't land up putting these cards away somewhere and I can't find them. If I can, I will keep these cards, and every week we'll take out what's our message from the universe. Done? Did you like that? Tell me in the chat box if you enjoyed pulling out a card from the universe. All right. Today my chat is not going automatically, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to personally have to scroll it up, so I may be slightly slower. Oh, so sweet. Urvi Naturals, please hold my hand, Puja Di, where I'll get complete energy from you. Urvi, sending you superb energy, darling. Himalini is asking how to ask. Ask with the intention that even if it's a no, you won't hold it against the universe or this person. Remember, it's actually very difficult for people to say no. We think people can easily say no, but remember, whenever somebody asks you, you know how hard you find it to say no, right? If someone can say yes, they'll always say yes. Go with that intention. And if they can't say yes, they must be having a very proper reason to it. Respect that. And you know what? Sometimes be like a child. Ask long enough that the no becomes a yes. I always say with my husband and my relationship, it always starts with a no. If I tell him, I want to go here, he'll be like, for what? And then slowly I say, okay, now the hard no is done. Tick. Let's go to maybe, let's go to yes. And slowly, it takes him time, because you know, I've been already thinking about that idea for a certain amount of time. While for him, he's hearing it for the first time. So even if he starts with a no, I know over time I can take him to a yes. Those people who have the determination to make a no yes become far more successful in life than the ones who bring it about their ego and say, oh, I heard a no, I'm never going to ask again. Don't make this about you or your ego. Make this about the journey you're planning to take and the number of people you will end up helping when you're going to be on top of the pyramid. Okay? Sejal Bhatia, Puja, during a serious issue, I laugh and this annoys people and even me. Please tell me, how do I become a balanced person and not laugh on a serious issue? Sejal, this just may be your personality's way of handling the stress that you are experiencing. Some of us, each one of us has a different way to react. Yours may be laughter. My suggestion is the best thing to do is to communicate. You know, at one point, my son, because of the milk that he was having, he used to stutter. And he used to feel conscious about the fact that he was stuttering. And I used to say, before every interview, just first start off by letting them know that I stutter. So that you can get that biggest elephant of the room into the open. So that way you're not conscious anymore and they become more compassionate towards you. So I feel like whenever we have an issue with our personality, if we can in advance speak about it like, I'm already aware, I'm working on it. But if it happens, my apologies in advance, then you know what, you've already kind of handled it. So instead of trying to control who you are, start to become open about who you are and you'll find it much easier to process, because the intention is neither to annoy them or yourself, but it's just your body or your mind's mechanism to be able to cope with the issue at hand by lightening it up by laughing. Oh, Jayalakshmi, how to overcome our emotions when our children leave for abroad? Jai Lakshmi, for me, the kind of person I am, the way I think is, if anything is good for my child, then I never want to come between my child and his best life. And so for me, it becomes very easy to reorganize my mind that this is not about me or my emotions. I hear people say things like, then my daughter will leave after marriage, so I don't want to send her abroad to study because we'll only get that much time with her. Or, where people are prioritizing their emotions over the life of their children, and I'm not able to understand how. How is that even an option? So for me, it's all about wherever it is the best for my child is where I want him to go. What happens to me, I will cope with that. So Jai Lakshmi, I'd love for you to start to process the fact that look how unselfish you are in the process of, how hard it is to send away your children, and yet for their greater good, because their greater good is always your greater good. So, for their greater good, you are willing to make that sacrifice. And if parents like you and me are not going to sacrifice, then who's going to do it, right? And honestly, coming to London, looking at my children live a very complete life, looking at them organizing themselves, managing themselves, the level at which they are, doing the stuff that they are doing, I've really felt very happy from within that, it's so good to see that the sacrifice that we made is actually something that they are valuing. And they are keeping the way they're keeping the house, the way my older one is working, the way the younger one is so sincerely going to do whatever he's doing. I'm like, I've come away feeling like, when we make a sacrifice and the children do well, it becomes very worth it. So I think encouraging and inspiring them is more important than how to cope with our own emotions. If they are doing well, you'll do well eventually. We are as happy as our unhappiest child. So I always pray to God, Godji, my life I look after, you just look after my children's life. You protect them, you give them whatever, needs to happen, because my happiness is directly dependent on how happy they are. So see if all of this makes sense to... Okay, so sweet. Richa saying, thanks for answering my unasked question. That's too cute. Storyteller, ask the universe to finalize my niche. I'm sandwiched between communication skills and detox for life for moms. My dear sweetheart storyteller, can I tell you something? It's not which one, it's just which one first. Have the courage to start any one of those. Give it 700 days of building your empire around that, and then begin with the next one. I currently run at least 3 different niches. And you know what? It's perfectly okay. Once I have one set, it's like having children. How do you decide which one? You just decide, okay, which one I'll have, then I'll have another, then I'll have another, right? And then you're able to raise all 3. If they are not twins, it's better because you'll manage them better if they come one at a time. So I always say this, that we've given too much importance to niche. I would say whatever you are good at, explore that, build an entire funnel around it. The day the funnel feels set, move to the next. Yeah, that is a new term, absolutely. First is what I have an expertise in, and the second one is where I have a good story. I'm going to recommend do both. If you can't decide which one to do, just do chick picking. Begin with one, go to the second after. The life architect is saying, I've been postponing asking for money. Then I'd love to encourage you to do so. Remember, whenever we don't get paid for the hard work that we are putting in, we burn out. Before you burn out, make sure there is enough money coming in. Jen Pravar is asking how to handle loneliness. I'm a big believer that God created an emptiness or a loneliness within us, which we thought we are supposed to seek by fulfilling it through people outside of us. Like we were waiting for our spouse, our children, our family to fulfill that loneliness, and that at some point we won't feel it. What you're calling loneliness, I tend to call emptiness, but it's the same thing. So I read this somewhere where when we are born, there is a concept called veil of amnesia, which is we forget that the only person who can fulfill our loneliness is when we reunite with our supreme cosmic energy, or God as we call it. And the more faith and surrender you will build in God, the more you start to feel like He's watching your back and He's always there for you. Remember, once that separation gets joined back again, which was always there, at birth we get separated, and the journey of our life is to reunite with that Supreme. And the day that happens, this loneliness that we experience will no longer exist. It will cease to exist for the simple reason that no human can fulfill that part of us. It has to be fulfilled by the divine energy. So I'm going to start to ask you, how much or how good is your relationship with the universal realm or the cosmic energy or the soul plane? Build that. Build that to an extent where you stop feeling the need for approval, acknowledgement, validation from the world, and you start to go, you know what, when I have Him by my side, who else do I need? You know, it's like Krishna and Arjun. Because Arjun had Krishna, at one point Duryodhan had a choice that he could choose either the millions of army that Krishna had, or he could choose Krishna. And he went excitedly to his father and he said, you know, Dad, I've gotten all the sages on my side, the entire million people army, the horses, the elephants. Oh my God, we are definitely winning this war. And they say at that point, Dhritarashtra, his father, just had a tear flowing down his eye because he realized that his son had chosen all of that, leaving God out. While God had gone to Arjun, and when God is on someone's side, what will the million army do? And so, I don't know how this is relevant for you, but I really hope that when you start to fill yourself up with God energy, you will start to not feel lonely anymore. Rather, you will start to enjoy being alone. Because you are actually never alone. There is a divine that lives inside of us, and once we recognize that, we become so happy in our own company that we need no one else. And when we need no one else, then we want others, and coming from a place of want of other people rather than the need of other people takes us from being beggar to queen or beggar to king. So I'd rather you be king and queen, where means you want other people, you don't need anybody, is far superior in energy to work with than the energy of. So I hope, you know, for all of you here who are feeling lonely in your life, build that beautiful relationship and watch yourself feeling so complete that you will never need anybody, you will only want other people. And I always tell Puneet that in my marriage, I hope, Puneet, I never need you. It should never be for your finances or for what you do for me or what you are to me. That's not why I want you in my life. I want you in my life because of only one thing, which is pure love. I choose to have you in my life because of the love that I have for you, and not because of the provisions, how much you provide for me and how much you protect me. That should not be my reason of. And recently Karwa Chauth went by, and I always on Karwa Chauth pray that God, let me want Him, let me not need Him. I want to be bigger than a need. When you need people now, then you start to adjust, sacrifice, tolerate, compromise your values to be with them, and that's something I don't want anyone to do. Can 5077, ma'am, is it wrong to manifest a partner with good looks? If not, while visualizing how to see the face of a partner without knowing the person in real, please explain. Can in all of us exists a desire for beauty? And God put that in each one of us for the simple reason that He wanted the world to be beautiful. Now, is it wrong that we visit the Taj Mahal more than the Red Fort? Why? Because the Taj Mahal is more beautiful than Red Fort, correct? And so we have to understand that there are different kinds of people in this world, and there are some people in this world who were created for aesthetics. I always divide the world into three categories. One is, I call it the brain people. Brain people are all the scientists and the astronauts and all the people who need to use their brain to create evolving of the world to happen. Evolution happens, progress is what lies in their hands. Then there are the heart people. Heart people are all the teachers, the coaches, the doctors, the nurses. These are people who are here to serve other people and create their life through the service of other people. And then there are the hands people. These are all the artists, you know, the musicians, the dancers who are going to use their hands and body to create more beauty in this world. All the architects, all the interior decorators, for them, they are the reason why the world or earth is becoming more and more beautiful. So for people who have beauty as their core value, the rest of the world tends to put them down, thinking how superficial of you or how lowly of you to think of the world as just the outside beauty. Absolutely not. Imagine if we didn't have that as our core value, the world would have turned into one big pile of garbage. I'm so glad, like I can tell you, for my being in London in my son's house, he's so particular about everything to be beautiful that I love it. I don't have that in me. But you know what? Yesterday we went and picked up this cup and saucer. It's a beautiful, I don't know if you can see it properly or not, but it's a beautiful set and this particular glass, and they were explaining what it is. And he was like, Mom, can I get 4 of these? For him to be living alone and desiring this gorgeous set of cups of for coffee, I just felt like, you know, it matters to him, and that's so beautiful. And if it matters to you that your partner should be good looking, why should you be apologetic about it? The other day someone was asking me that, you know, does it matter to you that your partner is good looking or not? And I said this, I said, you know what, for me, I come from a home where looks was not given too much importance. So therefore, whoever I would have married, had he not been good looking, I would have been perfectly okay with it, because it's not one of my greatest values. Now, having been married to Puneet for 23 years, I feel like I enjoy his good looks, but it's not something that I ever wanted. Yet I can tell you, I have so many clients for whom the starting base of a relationship has to be that the person has to feel attractive to them. Again, there's no one right answer. If that is your right answer, I would love for you to honor it. It matters to you, and therefore it is important. Okay? If it doesn't matter to someone, let it not matter to them. Let them not dictate what you should want or not want. I think too many of us have made beauty very superficial, while it's not. It's not. Like, I know I had gone to Italy, and in Italy there was this show called The Magnificent. And The Magnificent was all about this ruler of Florence who, what he did was that at that point Christianity was taking over the entire Europe. And when it was doing that, it was killing the current religion, whatever there was, and breaking down all the temples and bringing in Christianity. So what Florence king did was, he sent his top 3 best artists, Michelangelo, there was a lady with D, Donatella, and one more fellow. And he sent them to the Vatican, and the Vatican was literally, you know, has all of their artwork and paintings and everything. And that's the reason why the Vatican did not attack Florence for the longest time, or never attacked it, I'm not sure, because he bought peace through beauty. And I was like, oh my God, look at how much we underestimate the power of beauty. And here a king was smart enough to be able to buy peace. Like, everything around him got attacked, but he got saved because he shared his best artists with the Vatican, or with the Pope, or with the Christian people, whatever that was. Again, you know what? It shows to us that to those who prioritize all of that, and at one point the kings used to, remember Akbar and his Navratan? What were those Navratans? Each one was a superstar in something. So, I know you've got the point here, I've just gone off track. Okay, Precious Mom is saying, in my office there are a few who try to take away my credit. You know what, honestly speaking, while this may not sound like the right answer, in my experience, the more we land up chasing credit, the more we land up, not having a fulfilling journey. To me, like, I have a set of 71 coaches under me, and the biggest gift they can give me is, or the ones that I value most, are the ones that are not looking to be the superstars for Puja. The ones that keep doing their work silently get far more noticed by me than the ones who are shouting and screaming, look, I did this, look, I did that, look, I did this, look, I did that. Those are the ones which I'm like, you know what? Maybe at that point you will get the credit. But you know what? In the long run, I am looking for the ones who are solid. And you want to become solid in your journey, stop looking for credit. Stop looking for acknowledgement. Start to work because you love it. Start to work because, and you know what, it will take you a while, and for some time it may look very unfair, especially in the corporate world where it's all so cutthroat and so, so you may feel like injustice was done to you or unfairness was done, but I believe that every time injustice happens to us on planet Earth, we create a debt with God. Now it's God's job to fulfill it by putting luck into our life. So to me, you know what is luck? My definition of luck is all the unpaid dues to you turn into miracles of life. And so I always say, when God can give to me, what will a man give to me? And so I don't care about whether human beings recognize my work or not, till the time He's watching, till the time He is willing to karmically give me the love and the luck I deserve. I don't want it from people. It just liberates you. I don't know what is true, but it's very liberating when you stop expecting things from people, because you know your account is with God. And it really helps you feel so strong in your body, because you know what, when you start to credit other people, when you start to go, you know what, I can do the work and let the credit go to whoever the hell wants it, there comes a time where, you know what, people return all of the credit back to you because you didn't fight for it. And it becomes so beautiful. Every now and then in my energy, I feel like I receive more credit than that is due to me or I deserve, simply because I didn't beg for it when it was tiny. So when it comes in such a big manner because it's so accumulated that suddenly I'll get all of the credit for something I barely did. So, or I did, but it didn't matter to me. So I'm going to ask you, see if it's possible that you can liberate yourself from this desire of acknowledgement, validation, appreciation. These words cage you. For so many years in my marriage, I have begged my husband to notice me, give me importance, give me, compliments, give me appreciation, give me acknowledgement, give me validation, give me approval, all of this. Till a day came and I said, you know what, I'm going to live my life my way without wanting to explain or justify to anyone. And it liberated me in a manner where it was like, you know what you think of me is none of my business. It's not my problem. You think what you like, you've decided to misunderstand me, please do so. I no longer want to live this caged life of what you think of me should be my life. I want to go and live my life. If you can understand what I'm doing, great. Otherwise, you know what? I'm moving on with whatever is showing up for me, because one day you will be the one who will applaud exactly what I have done. Because today you can't see where I'm going, but a day will come where the world will see. And once the world sees, guess what? That's only time when your loved ones also start to see. Please place the camera a little up. Your face is hiding behind the comments. Ooh, really? Is that better? Alright. हरियाणवी बैकपैकर, जब अकेले होते हैं तो दिमाग में अलग ही लेवल के थॉट्स आते हैं मैम. हरियाणवी बैकपैकर, ये आप ही का सच नहीं है, ये हम सबका सच है. उनको मैनेज करना सीखना इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. सो जब वो अलग ही लेवल के थॉट्स आते हैं ना, उनको आने दो और उनको पास होने दो, उनको एनर्जी मत दो. बिकॉज हमारा माइंड के पास एक अपनी ही एक पर्सनैलिटी है जिसको जितना हम ज्यादा कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश करते हैं वो उतना ज्यादा मिसबिहेव करता है. सो इन माई हेड आई हैव अ फ्यू थॉट्स जो मुझे पता है कि मुझे नहीं सोचना है, बट अगर मैं उनको फाइट करती हूँ तो वो रुक जाते हैं. अगर मैं उनको पास करने देती हूँ तो फिर वो चले जाते हैं. सो वेन एवर यू आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग अ थॉट दैट इज नॉट सुटेबल टू यू, ईदर टेक इट इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ योर चॉइस, विच मीन्स टर्न इट इन टू अ गुड थॉट at the end of it. Just make it into a dream, just make it into a joke, just make it into and close it, or just let it pass and saying that this is not me, someone else's thought is crossing through me and it's okay. soulfactory.in. What do you do to unwind and reflect after a long week to take the edge off? Soul Factory, I don't do everything in a week. I do everything every day. So I'm someone who believes that every single day you need to work with some sort of routines and rituals that relax you, that make you, grounded, that help you realign with yourself, especially when you've had the kind of day where you've been what I call is porcupine day, where everybody has poked you in different directions. Those are the days when you really need to ground yourself. So having a good evening ritual or a routine in the evening that helps you realign, a hot water shower, sitting and sipping tea while you reflect at your day, writing your victory log on the kind of things you did right even though the day was so horrible. Anything that will start to ground you and realign you with your soul energy or soul purpose. Just sometimes reading my why helps me, because when the days are very hard, I have forgotten why I do what I do, and when I reconnect with my why, then everything becomes worth it, because the journey is so big, the mission is so huge, that I realize that these little small things should not matter. They look big if when you see it in one day, but they are not big when you calculate it by the 10-10-10. The 10-10-10 rule is what I learned, that how does this experience change me in the next 10 minutes or impact me in the next 10 minutes? How does this experience impact me in the next 10 months? And how will this experience impact me in the next 10 years? And when you evaluate anything through these 3 tens, I feel like, yes, in the next 10 minutes, I may be very irritated and annoyed, but in the next 10 months, this will not have such a big impact. And in the next 10 years, so pakka, I'm not even going to remember this incident, so it has no meaning. So like that, you can put things into perception. If you don't want 10 years, you can even make it 10 minutes, 10 weeks and 10 months. So you can work with 10 minutes, 10 weeks, 10 months, or you can work with 10, you can make it 4 tens if you like, whatever you want to do to just readjust, because sometimes things look very big on that day. But if you just let 24 hours pass, you'll see the impact that thing had when you heard the news the first time versus 24 hours later will be completely different. Shreya Agarwal, embracing imperfection means to you? I'm going to guess that you're asking, what does embracing imperfections mean to me? You know what? I used to be a perfectionist, and one of the biggest learnings of the last 10 years have been for me is to let go of trying to be a perfectionist. Today, I'm a lot more about owning my flaws and loving other people's flaws. Rather, perfection irritates me. It starts to feel fake, inauthentic, not vulnerable, and I'm not a great big fan of when something looks too perfect. I think it's too perfect. I think there is a facade being put on. So to me, actually, imperfections are the reality of life. So when someone shows me their vulnerable side, I'm far more attracted to that than to the beauty or the life of a perfect person. Because then I know that there's something being hidden. So then I can't trust to the level I'd like to trust. Till I don't come to know their imperfections, I will not be able to operate with them. And the same is with me. If you hear me talk very often, I will speak to you about what I do right, but I'll also speak to you about what I don't do right or what I've not done right, because it's very important that you know, like a lot of people think I operate in this energy all the time. For some reason, of course, when I'm in my delivery mode, I'm not going to come in with this energy. Hanji bhaiya, bolo. It's not going to be that energy, right? I'm always going to be pepped up because I know I'm delivering, and energy inspires energy. So if I have good energy, you will get inspired. If I come with down energy, you're not going to get inspired. So people think I'm like this all the time. Of course not. How is that humanly possible? You should see me after my 3-4 hours of delivery. I will be chilling on the sofa with my blanket, cozily lazing and wasting time completely. And you know what? That's my downtime, and that is as important. I call it the recharge. If you are going to operate at high energy, you need a recharge. So I think that, owning your imperfections and becoming comfortable with them has been one of my biggest learnings. Earlier on, I used to have a very childlike personality, which people used to interpret as childish, bubbly, too chirpy, not elegant. And I used to have a lot of issue with that till I owned it, till a time came where I said, you know what, I can be elegant and childlike at the same time. And if you see in me, you will see the energy combo. And I think not trying to change yourself for the world and owning who we are and then embracing that and then making it the best version of yourself works beautifully. So anybody here who's a perfectionist, I want you to start to become a recovering perfectionist. You know what is a recovering perfectionist? Used to be a perfectionist, no longer has any desire of hiding their flaws or wearing a mask. Remove that mask today. Let the world see your scars. See if you can be proud of the scars that you carry, because that shows that you've achieved something in life. You've gone through some battles. You've done something in your life for the scars to have shown up, right? If you are so perfect, that means you haven't done much. So get out of the whole perfection game. I think I paid a very big price for trying to look perfect for too long. Today I don't care even one bit. Dr. Aman, ma'am, my question is, if a girl is so much attached to her mother that her relationship with her husband can end up because she never understands this, how can we show this to her? The more you fight a relationship that is important to someone, the more you're going to lose that person to that person. So if I want to show to a lady that she's too close to her mother, the one conversation I will totally stop having with her is about her mother. I will ask her how I can support her. I will want to energize my relationship with her. What I will not do is pit myself against the mother, which means at no point am I going to speak against the mother, because the minute I speak against the mother, what I'm doing is I'm making this girl extremely defensive and she's going to run more and more to her mother. So whoever it is that we are insecure about is the person. It's like, when wives talk about their husband's ex-relationships. They are thinking, they want to get closer to the man. They want more information, maybe out of curiosity, maybe out of jealousy. But you know what they are doing? They are bringing that energy into a relationship that is so sacred. For what? What is that need? I remember my mom at one point said, Puja, when you have become the queen, why are you worried about the concubines? And I think that's such a beautiful sentence. The one who got married to the man should be the one feeling most secure. After all, you got what everybody else wanted, correct? And so I feel like too many of us, because of our own insecurities, tend to keep on talking about the one person we are getting insecure about. Well, this could be a mother, this could be ex-girlfriends, this could be, anything. It doesn't matter. I think learning to build our own security, learning to know that, we have to learn to set people free to know that, if they come back, that's great. And if they don't, maybe they were never ours. Yeah. And so learning that rather than pushing that on someone, the mother is definitely providing some level of value to the daughter's life, which is why she's running to the mother more than the husband. Let the husband start to provide better value. You see how she will shift. Remember, all relationships are seasonal. They don't last forever. There are times when this best friend does the best work. There are times when a cousin shows up. There are times when the mother becomes important. Relationships go through seasons. Just wait for your own season to come. Khushi. Hello ma'am, please guide how to respond to a person who is every time jealous of you and speaks ill with you or something, but you want to smooth relationship with them because they are family. Khushi, my sweetheart, the luckiest people on this planet are the ones where people are jealous of you. That means you have something that they want. And you know what? Instead of us getting upset with that fact, we should look up at God and keep thanking Him. And I to say, one more step I'm going to go further where I say, God ji, please create more people who are jealous of me and teach me to evolve enough to be able to handle people who are jealous of me, because jealousy is the biggest compliment someone can give you. It means you have something that someone else wants. So from today onwards, whenever you see her, just thank God. Thank God that there are people in this world who want to be more like you, want things that you have. Whatever she is jealous of, if you know what she is jealous of, Thank God for that. Okay, so don't try too hard. Her jealousy is her reflection, projection of what she's experiencing. The harder you're going to try, the more jealous she's going to get, because even your niceness will annoy her. Even your niceness, she's going to think of it as fake. So this is not on you. The only thing you can do is send her blessings, that may God give her what she's jealous of from you. I have so many people who speak ill about me because they are jealous of me. And can I tell you, every time I hear someone speaking ill about me, I say, thank you, God. At least I have something that I'm unignorable, as I like to put it. You know, it's so beautiful to reach a place. You work so hard in your life to reach a place where you become unignorable. So when you are unignorable, for every 10 people that will love you, one person will detest you. And it's totally okay. It's part of the package. It's like tax. If you're going to become rich, you're going to have to pay tax, right? If you grumble about the tax, then God will take away the money itself. That, oh, she doesn't want to pay tax, let's reduce her income. You never grumble about the good problems of your life. So remember, every single person that's jealous of you, bless them. Bless them that a day comes that they stop feeling jealous because they have enough of their own. But don't ever try to prove to them that you're a good person. Don't try to fix things with them. They are not ready for you yet. You are way too high in your energy and they are left behind. Just pray for these people. Bless these people. Don't try too hard to be friends with them, because they can't handle your energy. They are not yet there. They need to evolve a lot more. Give them that time, space, hold space for them. Don't try too hard is my suggestion. Navya, I had a very emotional relationship with a friend and I suddenly stopped that. Now I'm not able to accept the new connections in my life. I had a very emotional relationship with my friend and I suddenly stopped that. Now I'm not able to accept new connections in my life. I'm not able to understand what the problem here is. You only stopped it. So then you are only not able to accept the new connections. Then go back being emotional with that old friend. So I don't know what really the issue is. You'll have to continue that question and give me a little more detail to be able to answer that. Sanjana, gosh, it seems like I'm seeing you after forever. Miss you, my sweetheart. Sanjana, love you, darling. We'll get on a call soon. Not to worry. Ruchika B, where are you? In London. Enjoying the London life. Just came back from having oats mocha coffee and some mushrooms on toast in a cafe nearby for breakfast. So, really living the London life. Tanul Aurora 04. How to stay calm with negative people? Ooh, you know what? The time is 4:44. Let's quickly look up and say, Godji, please bless my life, because this is angel's time. Remember, every time the number is the same, it becomes an vortex that opens up to the universe. Any wish made at a time like that comes true. At least I'd like to believe so. So, how to stay calm when you're around negative people? Can I tell you, the most annoying thing for negative people is your calm. Whenever someone is negative, you know what their job is? To bring your energy down to their level. If you choose not to bring your energy down, that's the best revenge you can take on someone. So the more angry someone gets, the more calm I get. I just wait for them to let that storm pass. The harsher they are, the more rude they are, the more strongly or loudly they speak, the more in calm I go into. You know why? Because I have absolutely no need to justify myself or to explain myself to a person who I know has zero understanding of who I am and has decided to misunderstand me. When someone has decided to misunderstand you, the more reasoning you give to them, the more they will twist it around and tell you in return how their twisted version is actually the truth. Why? Why do you want to move in that energy? Hai na? So my suggestion would be, start to count till 10, do some deep breathing and start to sympathize with the people who do not have the emotional stability that you have. Okay, so for anybody who's losing themselves while they are with you, they need your sympathy, they don't need your anger. Okay, may God bless them and may they are able to evolve to a level where they can have proper conversation. The other day, somebody was very upset with me, so I messaged them that, looks like you're upset with me, I'd like to come in and clarify. And you know what? I went in thinking that they are going to be very nasty or rude, or I thought it's going to be like that. So I was very prepared for this is not going to end well, but I was pretty sure how I wanted to be in that and how I wanted to operate. And when I went, you know what? The beauty was they were as mature around the conversation as I was choosing to be. And we had the most beautiful conversation, and I've come back away loving that person doubly, triply, and respecting that person so much more. Just realizing that, you know what, I so didn't expect it to go so well. It literally went so well that they were so understanding and so mature and so emotionally stable, and so was I, that the conversation just was mind-blowing. Didn't expect it, but when it went like that, I really enjoyed it. So I just want to say, sometimes, you know what, not everybody, but every once in a while, people will show you what they're capable of, and those are the people we want to keep in our lives. And the rest of the people, you know what, the faster you can get rid of them, either reduce them in their energy or remove them in their energy till they are capable of being with you with the highest energy. And you know what I have seen? When I do not entertain low standards, they raise their standards to be in my life. And you can yourself check that out, that you know what, when you tell someone when we can talk properly to each other, we'll talk then, and walk away, I can tell you they'll come back at some point far more maturer, ready for you. So see if you can start to treat toxic people more like they have a disease that they need to work with. So send them love and compassion rather than sending them judgment and anger. Ahlam is asking, what are your children pursuing? Ahlam, my younger one is now turning 19 and he's in second year of college doing business management. My older one is very passionate about coffee, so he works for a coffee company in London where they supply coffee to 400 coffee shops across the city. So something that he's supremely passionate about. So one is working and one is studying. All right, let's go right to the bottom. We're almost at 4:50, so I'm just gonna read out, where's my phone? All the ones who did well. 1 second, just give me a second. Thank you, we're waiting. All right, participants of the week, super congratulations for all of you who did what we asked you to do every week, which is share your learnings as well as take a picture, put it on your story and tag me. What's the most important thing? Tag me and have the settings where I can share your story, because if you tag me and your settings do not let me share, then I'm unfortunately not going to be reading out your name. Today's participants are, massive congratulations to Anila Sethia, Nature is the Ultimate Power, Image by Design Consultancy, eCafe 12, Aditi Ashish Kumar, Bhargavi _Arjun, Coach Shailija, Motive with Parul, Life Coach Kaveri Shubham, Nisa QR, Anita Gupta Official, Taruna Rai Life Coach, Innovative Tarot Trupti, Vivek Vasanta, Madhvi Naren, Gauri 1811, Tulsi Mala 18, Deepak Gupta A Crown, Tejal Joshi, Srimukh 2007, Shamanjeet K, Mindset Emotional NLP, Designer Priyanka, Priyanka Patil 01, Artist Puja QnA, Motivator Priyanka, Ruchi Chauhan _81, Sakina _Sheikh, Sparkling _Souls _Heels, Ujwala _Madhvi 15, Dr. Aman Patiala, Deval Butti, Spin Wheel with Tisha, or is it Itisha? Sneha SJSD, Snehkated. Awesome! Super congrats to all of you who participated, and the winners of the week who are going to be getting my book, Unlocking the Golden Cage, is Pari Angel Wings, Raksh 414 and Dr. Alifia Lakdawala. Massive congratulations to the 3 winners as well as every single one of you who participated. Always such a pleasure to see you guys share what it is that you learned. And of course, thank you for making my stories buzzing with the learnings, because you know what, that really helps everybody else who couldn't make it or has to watch it later on. Yes? Thank you everyone. So on that note, let's get a photo. Tell me if you are able to see my face without the, make it as, without the comments, yeah? Do you want it with the teacup? Cheers! Which are the pose? Yay, the wow pose, champion pose, yeah! I don't know what all I keep doing. The serious pose. Which one do you like? I don't know. Choose any. Double thumbs up. Wait, let me fix my hair. Double thumbs up. Let's go right to the bottom to see what's happening. Today the thing didn't move, you know. Face up, please. Face up. Ooh, face up. Is that better? All poses are beautiful. Love you, Mona Mikas. Oh, so sweet. Some of you are so encouraging. Okay, let's take one last question before I close. Image by Design Consultancy is asking, Saubana, is the fear of success real? If yes, then how to overcome it? As I've seen so much failure, oops, where did it go? As I've seen so much failure in life, now failure, learning for me, but don't know how to acknowledge or receive this after success. I do believe that fear of success is absolutely real. A lot of us look at success and get scared because, again, any change is scary. Even change for the good is actually scary. Okay, so I remember I used to have a lot of fear of success, and I'll tell you what were the things that I used to be scared of in my fear. So my fear of success was, what if my children get neglected? Because what if I get so busy that my children don't get my time? That was one fear of success I had. Another fear of success was, I have a marriage that works beautifully like the way it is currently. If I become too successful, then will he be able to handle it? Will that impact his ego? That used to be one of my other fears. Another fear was, how will I remain humble? You know, what if it goes to my head, all of my success? So many different kinds of fears of success, correct? So these were all the problems that will show up with success. Now, what I reorganized my brain to think is, problems are going to happen till the time you are alive. Why not have problems that are related to success than to failure? Problems never go away. It's not like successful people don't have problems. They also have problems. They have to pay a lot of tax. They have trollers, you know. I mean, if you go and see Shah Rukh Khan's account or Deepika Padukone's account, you'll see the amount of hate messages they get. They get a lot of love messages, but a lot of hate, because just, you know, I mean, people feel like it's their right to cowardly express on social media whatever they choose to, and they write such rubbish sometimes that it's unbelievable, and they have to deal with all of those comments and everything. Now, those are great problems to have. I pray them on everybody now. Whenever somebody speaks to me about the fear of success, I say, I pray it happens to you. I pray that you pay so much tax that you hold your head and you say, you know what, oh my God, this is just all of that, right? And I pray that you have issues around success, because we are going to have, till the time we are alive and breathing, we are going to have issues any which ways. Why not deal with the good issues? I would rather you have pain of going to the gym than have the pain of going to doctors. If you have to choose between the two pains, because one of them has to come, then why not choose the pain of the gym rather than pain of the doctors? True or not? And doctors, full respect to you. This is what I just mean by those who don't look after their health, right? So, like that, I want you to start to reorganize your thought around fear of success. Make a list of all the fears that you have and start to go, when it does happen, how will I deal with it? Firstly, is this better than the current problem that I'm having? Do I prefer this problem or do I prefer this problem? Make that choice. Because remember, life is a set of problems. You only evolve through problems. You do not evolve sitting on the sofa watching Netflix. You only evolve when you are either living your mission or then God has to create problems in your life. You know, they say, what was that very beautiful quote? I can't remember it now, thanks to whatever. Okay, whatever it was something around that either you can make your life hard and God will make it easy, or you can make your life easy and God will make it hard. It was something in regard to that. And I can assure you that if you start to choose hard, God will start to create assistance and pathways to make it easier. And if you choose to make it easy, then resistance will start to show up to make it hard. So choose hard is my suggestion. It's hard till it's easy. Brian Tracy had said this in one of his interviews, which I just fell in love with that sentence. It's hard till it's easy. So keep doing it long enough till it becomes easy for you. Not only that, there's another beautiful quotation which was, if it is worth doing, it's worth doing badly in the beginning. If it's worth doing badly in the beginning. Another quote that I absolutely love, because so many of us perfectionists want to get it right from day one. While the truth is, if you go back to see Karishma Kapoor's movies, you'll see that in Prem Kaidi, she didn't look half as beautiful as she looked in Raja Hindustani. So if you want to work your way up, your first video should be embarrassing. Your first coaching session should be, all wrong. Your first anything. If you were too good in your first, you started too late. It's as simple as that. That means you waited to become perfect, and that is such a wrong place to start. You want to start that when you look back at your life, you should go, oh my God, please hide this video of mine, or please, this should be deleted from memory. Okay, I'm going to run now, but thank you so much for coming today, and I will see you next week again from London, because I'm here for another 2 weeks. So I will continue to see you. Maybe today I'm sitting in the kitchen. Next time I'll sit somewhere else. Do you want to see what the outdoors look like? So we are on the 13th floor, and there are these beautiful, gorgeous buildings down the road. There's this is like lots of tall buildings. That tall building you see at the back next to the cone, that used to be the building where my son used to stay. It's called Atlas, and now he's moved to this particular building. These are all work offices, and that particular road going down that way has a lot of restaurants that we've been visiting. Oops, did you see how the filter just changed into my eyes, making it look so weird? Sorry about that, but this is so much better a filter. So this filter is called Fox Eyes. I use it every now and then, and I really like it. If you haven't tried it, for those of you who likes the idea of Fox Eyes, this is worth trying. It smoothens your face and makes your eyes look gorgeous. So, alright everybody, thank you for coming. It's exactly 4:59, so I am going to run now. Bye.